Good morning, kids. Well, kids, in the previous class, if you remember, we were doing the cases of nouns case. So all that I want you to understand is that noun cases are very, very simple. Please don't get scared by these words like nominative or objective or genitive or possessive case. The idea is very, very simple. So let me just jog your memory a bit. Let me just tell you in brief what we did in the previous class. So we spoke about the nominative case of noun. So nominative case is very, very simple. It is just the subject of the verb, and the noun that is the subject of the verb is in the nominative case. So there is an example sentence for you on the board. Aditya drew a picture. So which is the verb here? The verb out here is drew, and drew is an action word. Remember, verbs are action words or non-action words as well. Okay, so Aditya drew a picture. So then who drew a picture? Aditya drew a picture. So Aditya is in the nominative case, in the sense Aditya is the one, is the subject, he is the one performing or doing the action. Okay, so Aditya is the subject of the verb drew. So Aditya is in the nominative case. Okay, so remember that. And what about the object of the verb? Well, my father bought flowers. So which is the verb here? The verb out here is bought. So my father bought what? My father bought flowers. So remember what I told you? If you want to find out the subject, then you just ask yourself the question, who or what before the verb. And if you want to find out the object of the verb, you ask yourself the question, whom or what. It's very, very simple. So the subject, another way of looking at it, kids, is that the subject is the one performing the action. Okay, and the object of the verb is someone or something that receives the action of the verb. Okay, so now in the previous class I had told you that we will do possessive case, vocative case and dative case, but we will not do we will leave out dative case, we'll also leave out vocative case. We will do that when you return when you come to school. Today I just want to do genitive or possessive case with you. Okay, fine. So it's very, very simple. Okay, so possessive, first of all be careful of the spelling. It's P-O-S-S-E-S-S-I-V, possessive or genitive case. Okay, so these nouns, what do? They show ownership or a relationship. Okay, so how does it work? Let's see how it works. Okay, so let's say we have ownership here and we have, let's say, relationship here. So if you look at ownership, I'll give you a few examples. I will write a few examples for you on the board. Let's say this is John's hat. So if you look at this particular sentence, okay, what I have done is, there was this singular noun John, proper noun John. Okay, so I have added this sign here and I've also added the letter S. So this sign that I've used out here, this sign in English is called an apostrophe. A-P-O-S-T-R-O-P-H E. It's an this sign is called an apostrophe. Okay, and so this particular noun, which was a proper noun, now I've made it a possessive noun by placing the apostrophe and the S. What do I mean? I mean to say that the hat belongs to John. So whose hat is it? It is John's hat. Or let's say, okay, let us go to whose house? Namit's house. So it means that the house belongs to Namit. So what is it that I've done? Again, this was a proper noun. So in order to make it a possessive noun, what have I done? I've used the apostrophe, the punctuation mark apostrophe, and I've also added the letter S. So whose house? Namit's house. Let's look at example sentence 3. Okay, let's say Rishi broke whose umbrella? Aditya's umbrella. So what have I done? I have again used the apostrophe and the letter S. So whose hat is it? This is John's hat. Whose house is it? It is Namit's house. And whose umbrella is it? It is Aditya's umbrella. Okay, so we use the genitive case, okay, or the possessive case to show that that particular thing, okay, belongs to that particular noun. So now let's look at relationships. How is it that genitive case, how do they show relationships? Okay, so let's say Akbar's fort. What do I mean by Akbar's fort? Means the fort built by Akbar. Okay, so let's look at another example. Let's say Mira's songs. Okay, what do I mean? Okay, I mean to say that we are talking about the songs sung by or composed by Mira. And so remember the rule about writing proper nouns. You have to capitalize the first letter. Okay, so let's say another example. Let's say my father's friend. So what does it mean? It means the friend of my father. Or let's say the judge's decision. What does it mean? It means the decision made by the judge. Okay, so genitive cases, what do they show? The nouns in the genitive case, they show ownership or a relationship. Okay, and ownership, the example sentences for you are on the board, and these examples I'm sure make it clear how genitive cases or possessive cases are used to indicate or are used to show a relationship. So Akbar's fort will be fort built by Akbar. Mira songs, what do you mean? Songs sung by Mira. My father's friend, the friend of my father. And the judge's decision, the decision made by the judge. Okay, and how do we do it? We do it using the apostrophe and the S. Okay, fine. And there are a few more things that I want you to remember. Okay, so we will just do 3 cases. One is, we've already finished the nominative case, we've already done the objective case, and we are doing what? We are doing the possessive or the genitive case. Again, I'm telling you, don't get scared of these big words. Okay, it is very, very simple. The idea is very, very simple. Okay, so now when you have, we also use, kids, the apostrophe and s in certain time expressions or expressions of time. Like let's say a day's journey. Okay, so let's say 3 weeks leave, or let's say in a year's time. Okay, so I just want you to remember this, that we use possessive case for living things. Okay, and we also use the apostrophe. We do not use the apostrophe in s for non-living things, remember that. And we also use the apostrophe in s with expressions of time. So as of now, I want you to remember this. And just before we finish, there is something that I want to tell you. There is another use of the apostrophe, kids. The apostrophe, it indicates missing letters. Okay, so like how does it work? It works like this. Okay, let's say I am. So if I want to contract it or reduce, okay, if I can write this in another way, I can write it like this, I am. Okay, so what I have done is I've used this apostrophe in place of the letter A. So when you come across these two words, how will you pronounce it? You will say I am. But the pronunciation, the sound of this is I am. So remember that. Similarly, what we have, I'll give you a few more examples. Let's say have not. Have not becomes what? Have not becomes H-A-V-E, haven't. So in place of the letter O, I've used the apostrophe. Or let's say have not will become, let's say has not will become hasn't. So again, in place of the letter O, I've used the apostrophe. Okay? Or let's say will not remember is a bit different. You will not contract it to make it willent. There is no word called willent in the English language. Will not becomes won't. Okay? And let's say it is will become it's, like that. Okay, so this in English is called what? Contractions. So you can look up this topic on the net, and it's pretty simple. So apostrophes are also used to indicate missing letters, like I am will become I am, have not will become haven't, has not becomes hasn't, will not becomes won't, it is becomes IT apostrophe S, it's. Okay, so this is the way it works. So that is it for now, and I will see you in the next class. Bye, kids. So if you want to make a singular noun possessive, it is very, very simple. Let's say to make singular nouns possessive, or change it to the possessive case, it is very, very simple. What is it that you do? You just add the apostrophe and the letter S. Let's say my father's. So father is a singular noun. Yes. Now if I want to make this singular noun, if I want to change this singular noun into a possessive noun, I will add the apostrophe, the mark apostrophe and S. My father's office. Okay? Or let's say the man. Now man is singular. Yes? Now if I want to make this singular noun possessive, what will I do? I will add the apostrophe and the S. The man's jacket. Okay? Or let's say the elephant. Okay, so now if I want to make this is what? A common noun. If I want to make it a possessive noun, I will use the apostrophe. Okay, the mark apostrophe and S. The elephant's tusks. Okay, fine. So to make a singular noun possessive, what you do? You add the apostrophe and the S. Okay, so now if you want to make a plural noun possessive, what is it that you do? Let's say to make plural, P-L-U-R-A-L, plural nouns possessive. All that you have to do, kids, is very simple, is you just add the apostrophe. Okay, so let's say boys. Yes, boys is what? A plural noun, yes or no? Yes. So boys school. So what do I mean? I mean to say that it is a school where many boys study. Or let's say girls. Okay, sorry, girls. Girls is a what? A plural noun? Yes or no? Yes. So if I want to make it possessive, I will add the apostrophe after the S. Girls hostel. What do I mean? I mean to say that the hostel, it's a hostel where many girls stay. Okay? Or let's say the birds. Again, birds is a plural noun. Yes or no? Now if I want to make it possessive, what will I do? Simple. I will just add the apostrophe. So the birds eggs. What do I mean? I mean to say that the eggs belong to many birds. Okay? 2 or more birds. Okay. This is something that I want you to remember. Okay. And the next thing that I want you to remember is there are certain nouns, okay, where the plural forms don't end with S. Like for example, you have, what is the plural of man? The plural of man is men. Now if I want to make this possessive, what will I do? I will add the apostrophe and the S. So it will be, let's say, men's room. Okay, let's look at another plural noun that does not end with S. Let's say, what is the plural form of woman? W-O-M-A-N. The plural is women. W-O-M-E-N. So this is a plural noun, yes or no? Does it end with S? No, it doesn't. So how will I make it possessive? I will just add the apostrophe and the S. So women's, let's say, clothes. Okay, let's say children. C-H-I-L-D-R-E-N. So this is another plural noun that does not end with S. Now how will I make it possessive? Let's say all that I have to do, kids, simple. Put the apostrophe after the last letter of the word and then add the letter S. Write the letter S. So let's say children's toys. Okay? That's the way it works. So as of now, I just want you to remember these 3 things. Okay? To make a singular noun, to make singular nouns possessive, what will you do? You will add the apostrophe and the S. To make plural nouns possessive, what will you do? You will add the apostrophe after S. And to make plural nouns, again, the nouns that don't end with S, how to make such nouns possessive? You add the, or you use the apostrophe mark and you write the letter S. Okay, so do remember this. There's something else that I want you to remember. Okay, I hope you kids are fine at home. Stay healthy. eat healthy food, and stay safe. Anyway, so there's another thing that I want you to remember is that we use the possessive case, kids, for living things, remember. So, use possessive case for living things. Okay, please do remember that. Okay, so now I will give you an example. Let's say, Shyam's bag is on the table. Whose bag is on the table? Shyam's bag is on the table. What do I mean? That the bag belongs to Shyam. Okay, or let's say the snake ate the bird's eggs which were in the nest. So what do I mean here? I mean to say that the eggs belonging to the bird. So Shyam too is a proper noun, name of an individual, a living thing. So I can make this possessive. So bird too is a living creature, yes or no? So I can make this, change this into a make it a possessive noun. Okay, change the case of this particular. I can make it possessive. Simple. Let's just keep it simple. Okay. So now another thing I want you to remember is, for example, you should not for non-living things avoid. Okay. Or let's say, don't use the apostrophe and S for non-living things. Like you should not say, let's say, the table's legs. This is wrong. How will you write it? The legs of the table. This is the way you are supposed to write it. Okay, or let's say the clock's hand. This is wrong. Why? Table is a non-living thing, clock too is a non-living thing. Okay, so how can you write this? Instead of writing it this way, which is grammatically wrong, in terms of grammar you don't write it like this. So how will you write this? The hand of the clock. Okay, so just remember this. Okay, now you can use the apostrophe and the S with personified things, but I don't want to talk about that right now. And there are a lot of other phrases as well with which you can use the apostrophe and S. But since you are in class 4, let's not, I don't want to discuss that. Okay, we will learn about it later. Another thing that I want you to know is that we can use the apostrophe and S to talk about time.